Hello and welcome to Spectrum News at 4. My name is Xavier Robert, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Tinubu presides over third FAC meeting. Nigeria wins case against PNID. Plus, Danish Deputy Prime Minister Jensen resigns to leave politics. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. The news this afternoon with President Bola Tinubu, who is currently presiding over the third Federal Executive Council FAC meeting of his administration at the council chambers of the State House, Abuja. The meeting, which commenced at around 1:06 p.m., is being attended by almost all members of the cabinet, excluding Vice President Kashim Shettima and a couple of ministers. Some of those in attendance are the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, George Akume, the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Folashade Yemi-Asan, the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, and National Security Advisor, NSA, Nuhu Ribadu. It will be recalled that the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, had last week announced that the council meeting will now be held on Mondays, as against the previous schedule of Wednesdays. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has recommended public-private financing for Nigerian universities. The president added that Nigerian universities would get the required resources they desperately need to elevate the level of university education in the country with the right mix of public and private financing. Tinubu stated this in Ilorin, Kwara State capital, at the 37th and 38th convocation ceremonies of the University of Ilorin, Unilorin. The president, who was represented by the Minister of State for Education, Yusuf Sununu, called on corporate bodies, communities and individuals to support public universities. In the meantime, President Tinubu has assured that the era of industrial actions in the nation's academic environment has come to an end as the administration's students' loans scheme commences January next year. President Tinubu gave the assurance while speaking at the 29th edition of the annual Nigerian Economic Summit, anchored by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group (NESG) in Abuja. Tinubu, who spoke extensively on his administration's plans to stabilize the economy with the collaboration of all stakeholders, especially the private sector, also noted the need to immediately initiate a sustainable credit scheme, which he said will aid an effective anti-corruption campaign. In another development, Nigeria has won its case against the Process and Industrial Development Company (PNID). In the case marked CL 2019-000752, the federal government sought to overturn an arbitration award in favor of PNID, which has now accrued interest worth $11 billion. The company had claimed it entered into an agreement with Nigeria to build a gas processing plant in Calabar, Cross River State, but the deal collapsed because the Nigerian government did not fulfill its end of the bargain. A London High Court has now delivered judgment in Nigeria's favor. And while the Supreme Court has dismissed an appeal by Senator Smart Adeyemi challenging the nomination of Usman Ahmed Ododo as the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress (APC) in the November 11 gubernatorial election in Kogi State. The Apex Court, in a judgment delivered by Justice Emmanuel Akomaye Agim, imposed a fine of 2 million naira on Adeyemi for filing what it described as a frivolous and vexatious suit. Justice Agim held that the case of the appellant was completely bereft of merit. The court upheld the findings of a federal high court and the Court of Appeal, both in Abuja, to the effect that a lawful primary election was conducted and won by Ododo. Still on judicial matters, the Supreme Court has said that there are conflicting letters from the Chicago State University CSU on President Bola Tinubu's certificate. The chairman of the 7-member panel hearing the application, Justice John Okoro, made this known today. Justice Okoro noted that criminal matters have to be proved beyond reasonable doubt. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has reserved judgment in the appeal by Peter Obi and the Labour Party LP against the September 6 judgment of the Presidential Election Petition Court (BAPC), which affirmed the victory of President Tinubu. Recall that the Apex Court had struck out the appeal by the Allied People's Movement (APM) seeking to nullify the election of President Tinubu. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino has announced that the state government is set to launch its new agriculture boosting campaign with the establishment of a model oil palm mill in Ibekwe Akpanya, Ngbareni local government area. The state governor announced the government's readiness to kickstart the project while speaking at a special church service at the Solid Rock Kingdom Church headquarters Ibekwe Akpanya, held to mark the 75th birthday celebration of the Apostle John Okoriko. The governor said the location of the mill at Ibekwe Akpanya community is to complement the already existing massive oil palm plantation by the Solid Rock lead pastor and to provide various levels of processing services for other oil palm farmers in the area, assuring that the mill will be a replication of the Songhai Farms model. Governor No, on behalf of the government and people of the state, also congratulated Apostle John Okoriko on his 75th birth anniversary and lauded his ministration style of simplifying the gospel to the understanding of the locals, describing him as an asset in the Akwa Ibom church community. In the meantime, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino has reiterated the state's readiness to collaborate with development partners in order to attract investments into the state. In an interview with pressmen at the Victor Tar International Airport, Uyo, on his return from the 8th Annual London Political Summit at the House of Commons Westminster Summit, Governor No said such opportunities for him is always an occasion to showcase the safe and lucrative economic opportunities the state is endowed with, stressing that the summit availed him another opportunity to attract investors to the state. Beyond investment interests, the governor, who was a delegate at the summit, said he also seized the opportunity of having several multinational agencies and aid organizations in one spot to market the state and assure relevant organizations of the state's readiness to partner for development, noting that the state cannot depend solely on federal allocation for growth. Government House correspondent Jane Owa reports that the governor also disclosed that he had used the occasion to meet with citizens of the state in the diaspora to discuss on the need to attract more foreign direct investments in areas of health, agriculture, artificial intelligence and other ICT fields, amongst others, into the state. Moving on now to Africa, where the European Union today took a legal step towards imposing sanctions on Niger's new military rulers who overthrew the democratically elected leader in July. The 27-nation bloc has condemned the ouster of Niger's President Mohamed Bazoum, which toppled a key Western partner in the jihadist-hit region. The EU announced it had adopted a legal framework under which it can now sanction individuals and entities responsible for actions that threaten the peace, stability and security of Niger. Meanwhile, the EU has already suspended security cooperation and financial support with Niger following the military takeover. Former colonial power France is currently pulling out its 1,500-strong military deployment to the Sahel country after a demand from Niger's new rulers. Still in Africa, about 817 suspected cholera cases have been recorded in 3 Sudanese states, including 35 deaths. The cases were reported in Gedaref, South Kordofan and Khartoum states. Privately owned Al Rakoba news website reported, citing the World Health Organization (WHO). Recall that the UN last week said that months of conflict in Sudan had left millions of people at risk of cholera, dengue, measles, malaria, and other diseases without sufficient containment capacities. The WHO has also warned that the lives of over 9,000 kidney patients were in danger due to the limited number of dialysis centers in the country. Meanwhile, Sudan's hospitals have been hit hard by the conflict between the army and a paramilitary force, with many stopping operations amid fighting. On the foreign scene, Danish Deputy Prime Minister Jacob Ellemann-Jensen has said that he was retiring from politics just months after he returned from a 6-month leave due to stress and overwork. Ellemann-Jensen said his personality overshadowed the Venstre party's results in government and had become a hindrance to the party's ability to move forward. Reports say Venstre Vice Chairman Stephanie Luz will take over organizational duties for the party until the election of a new party leader at the party annual conference in November. So on the forward scene, White House has said that U.S. President Joe Biden has discussed the Israel-Hamas war with leaders of major Western powers. The White House said Biden leaders of Britain, Canada, France, Germany, and Italy. It added that the leaders reiterated their support adherence to international humanitarian law, including the protection of civilians. Still to come in the news. Manchester United to pay tribute to Charlton Tuesday. Do stay with us.
Spectrum TV, broadening your horizon.
Many thanks for staying tuned. Tonight on our business news, the federal government has announced that it attracted over $2 billion in investments in the renewable energy sector over the past decade. It announced this through the Rural Electrification Agency REA, noting that in advancing these achievements, it established partnerships with the World Bank, African Development Bank, Global Alliance for People and Planet, Rocky Mountain Institute, and Japan International Cooperation Agency, amongst others. The Director of Promotion and Outreach, Muttari Ibrahim, who disclosed this in a statement issued in Abuja, said from 2020 to date, REA has provided over the power to over 7.5 million people, including 1.5 million households, delivering 130 mini-grid projects, including 1.3 million standalone home systems. According to him, the agency has equally deployed over 1,650 kilometers of solar streetlights, improving power security and economic growth in rural areas. In the meantime, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, has communicated plans to develop cost-effective housing designs and promote the construction of quality and affordable housing for Nigerians. He said the plan will cater to the housing needs of 80% of low and medium income earners in the country. The minister made this known when he received the leadership of the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors, led by its president Shonobi Olayemi, at the ministry headquarters. He noted that an affordable housing design committee was created within his first week in office to develop more efficient design options to meet the income profiles of Nigerians within that bracket. Now in health, the Association of Resident Doctors at Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta, Ogun State, has called for urgent action to address the serious shortage of medical staff at the institution. The association urged the federal government to provide additional resources and support to the institution to improve the quality of care and reduce the burden on staff. The art president at the institution, Dr. Tokpe Osundara, made the call at the handing over of a newly constructed medical facility built by the Professor Musa Olomu-led administration to the association. He lamented that the shortage of staff has been a long-standing issue at the hospital, adding that it is leading to increased waiting times for patients, reduced access to care, and longer stays in the hospital. Still in health, as part of efforts to increase mental health awareness among adolescents and reduce cases of suicide in Nigeria, a non-governmental organization, NGO, Youth Development and Empowerment Initiative, has called for the inclusion of mental health in primary and secondary school curricula. The NGO noted that including mental health in the school curriculum will help young people become aware of mental health conditions early through awareness creation and know how to recognize signs of mental health problems and when to seek help. Speaking at a program, a public health physician at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Ikeja, Dr. Toriola Femi Adebayo, said the inclusion had become crucial, citing challenges faced by young people in the country. The physician said young people are facing a lot of stress, hence the need for one to take care of their mental health. Now to sports, where Manchester United says it will pay further tribute to Sir Bobby Charlton ahead of Tuesday night's Champions League match at Old Trafford. Reports say United Trinity statue outside the ground was awash with tributes to Charlton yesterday, as supporters laid flowers and scarves, with many leaving personal thoughts for one of the club's most famous sons following his death at age 86. Manchester United confirmed that discussions were ongoing with Charlton's family and UEFA for further commemorative plans ahead of Tuesday night's Champions League Group A match against Copenhagen. So in sports, England have added Durham fast bowler Bryden Kerr to their World Cup squad to replace Reece Topley. Left-arm seamer Topley was ruled out of the tournament after breaking a finger in the defeat by South Africa in Mumbai, India. Kerr, aged 28, has taken 14 wickets in 12 one-day internationals, featuring most recently against Ireland last month. He impressed with 4 wickets in 3 T20s against New Zealand prior to the Ireland series. Moving on now to entertainment, where popular Nigerian actor and TV star Toby Bakre has won award for acting at the just concluded the Future Awards Africa TFAA. Celebrating the win on social media, Bakri gratitude went out to his elder brother who had previously won TFAA award and inspired him to keep pushing. Reports say TFAA, which was held in Lagos State, saw 25 nominees emerge winners, with selections across various categories ranging from social activism to business and entertainment. Still on entertainment news, Nigerian artists Davido and Rema were the big winners at the just concluded 2023 Trace Awards held in Kigali, Rwanda. Rema won 2 awards, Song of the Year for his hit record Calm Down and Best Global African Artist, alongside South African act Nomsibo Zikode. Davido bagged 2 awards, Best Male and Best Collaboration, while Burna Boy snagged the Album of the Year award for his Love Domini project. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. You've been watching Spectrum News at 4. My name is Xavier Robert. Bye for now.